Hello everyone. I'm sure you're having great time with your family at home as well as with the online sessions that is going on. Now before I start with the third session, I'll just discuss with you what we did in the last session. In the last session, I discussed with you basically about two main spheres, hydrosphere and atmosphere. In hydrosphere and atmosphere, I dealt with you composition, concept and usage. So just three important segments that I dealt with you with these two spheres. In today's session, we'll be discussing basically about the last sphere of the year, that is biosphere. And once we finish with biosphere, I'll be discussing with you the important part of the chapter, that is pollution. So, what important factors or what human activities are actively involved in pollution, polluting the four main spheres? That will be the topic, and we'll also look into some of the important solutions by which we can overcome it and we can inculcate the solutions into our lives, and we can make sure that we somewhere can help our planet in protecting from pollution, and we can also spread this message elsewhere so that we get the support and help from others as well in protecting our environment. So this will be the discussion for today, and I'm sure you're going to have a great time with this session, and you're going to learn different things like pollution and some of the solutions that we can help in protecting our environment. So please keep taking important notes, and without wasting much of time, let's get started with this session, and please do take notes for this session as well. The biosphere is one of the four layers that surrounds the earth, along with the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. The biosphere extends from the deepest root systems of trees to the dark environment of ocean trenches to lush rainforests to high mountain tops. Now, biosphere has a great extent limit. For example, if the living creatures are seen in the deepest of oceans, or if it is seen in the deepest root systems of trees, that entire portion will come under biosphere. Or if you find any living creature in the high mountain tops, that entire layer will come under biosphere. So biosphere is wherever the living creatures exist, whether in lithosphere, hydrosphere or atmosphere, that entire layer as well as the entire portion of that particular layer comes under biosphere. So biosphere extends to this level that the living creatures are never left out. Each and every living creature which is existing in any such places that I just described will be covered under biosphere. The part of lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere where the living world exists is known as biosphere. Biosphere is one of the important sphere on Earth. Earth is the only planet in the solar system having biosphere. So biosphere is very important sphere on Earth because it is filled with life. It's life-giving sphere, and it is very rare to see biosphere in only Earth planet and not in any other planet. So that is one of the reason why biosphere is so very important. Biosphere includes vegetation, animals, insects and human beings. We obtain food and many other necessary things from biosphere. We cannot live without vegetation and animals. So you could see the dependency of the living creatures on each other. Likewise, you could see the same dependency on the physical environment, that is non-living things. Biosphere is the basis of our existence and living. It is divided into two parts, non-living and living. Lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere form the non-living part, while plants, animals and microorganisms are included in the living world. So you could see a strong bonding between the both living and non-living, simply because each and every creature is dependent on each other. Apart from each other, they are also dependent on the non-living. Human impact on lithosphere. We will see two activities which are responsible for a very strong impact on lithosphere. First, deforestation. Deforestation is the permanent removal of trees to make room for something besides forest. This can include clearing the land for agriculture or grazing, or say construction or manufacturing purposes. So for any such reason, deforestation is carried out. Now, what are the effects of deforestation? Why is deforestation a very big problem for lithosphere? Firstly, one main reason is soil erosion. Now, when the trees get cut, what happens? The soil fertility becomes a problem. The soil gets washed away with rainwater on slopy area in the absence of trees, leading to soil erosion. So because of cutting of trees, the soil fertility becomes a problem. The fertility of the soil gets eroded because of various reasons, and the soil fertility gets hampered, and that leads to soil erosion. The soil gets eroded. Second, expansion of deserts. If you see, because of cutting trees, what happens? The entire land becomes barren and not fit for any use, so that gets converted to deserts. Mass of land gradually gets covered to sand deserts, so expansion of deserts increases. So that is one of the reason why we need to plant more and more trees. Thirdly, decrease in rainfall. In the absence of forest, rainfall decreases simply because forests bring rain and maintains high humidity in the atmosphere. So excess water from the leaves are passing through stomata, and through evaporation it goes and adds to the moisture, which is leading to rainfall because the activity becomes faster, and so it brings rainfall. So trees in all ways, if you see, they are very very important, and if we do not save forests, I'm sure we are going to have the problem of deforestation on a large scale. The second activity responsible for a very strong impact on lithosphere is drilling for natural gas and oil. Drilling is actually a process whereby a hole is bored using a drill to create a well for oil and natural gas production. Development or production wells are drilled for the production of oil or gas in fields of proven economic and recoverable oil or gas reserves. Now, oil and natural gas are very difficult to get, so we need to make sure that we use these resources wisely. Oil rigs are used to pump the oil and gas out from rocks. So what happens in this entire procedure? During this drilling activity, it disturbs the lithosphere. The tectonic plates which are seen under the crust is totally disturbed, and that eventually leads to earthquakes. Apart from that, if you see, oil spills is also the result of drilling, which can damage ecosystems and kill wildlife. Soil and groundwater contamination is also the result of drilling. So we saw these two human activities, that is deforestation and drilling. Both of these activities are responsible for a very strong impact on lithosphere. So we need to use the resources more wisely and responsibly. The impact of human activities on hydrosphere. Now we'll just look into some of the human activities which are involved in water pollution. Firstly, the dumping of waste from villages and cities along with the industrial waste into the water bodies leads to water pollution. Now, the water which is collected from villages and cities are directly dumped into the fresh water bodies. So it is leading to killings of many aquatic creatures. So it's very important for us to make sure that whenever the waste is dumped is done in a proper way. The disposal should be done in such a way that it does not affect any other living creatures. Secondly, the oil spills from ships and disposal of industrial and chemical waste into the water causes the destruction of marine life. Now, many creatures living inside the water are very badly hampered simply because we do not take much care in disposal of waste. For example, the industrial and chemical water is directly put into the fresh water bodies. So this is a very big mistake that the industrialists are doing for not taking care of the creatures residing inside the water. So these are two important activities which is leading to maximum pollution. So that needs to be taken care. The impact of human activities on atmosphere. So we'll just look into some of the human activities which are responsible for pollution in atmosphere. Firstly, harmful gases which are emitted by industries, workshops, power stations and vehicles pollute air. So there are many gases which have been released by the industries, workshops, power stations and vehicles which are very harmful to people. So the polluted gases which are released without any proper care and precautions can lead to a lot of health complications to all the living creatures. So it is very important to make sure that such pollutions do not occur in the atmosphere. Secondly, the areas with the higher frequency of vehicles show increased rate of carbon monoxide in the air. So in the atmosphere we could witness carbon monoxide because of more vehicles. This gas is in higher proportion in the air and it has lot many health complications. So carbon monoxide exposure to moderate and high levels over long period of time can lead to increased risk of heart disease. So heart diseases can be increased if the percentage of carbon monoxide in the air is more. Now apart from that, if you see, long term health effects are also caused by various other gases like carbon dioxide in the air. The higher concentration of the gas in the air can lead to various heart diseases, lung cancer and respiratory diseases. So it is very important that we make sure that such pollutions do not occur and we take proper care of our environment. The amount of carbon dioxide gas is increasing due to deforestation. Now, if you see in biosphere, life as whole is very badly affected by the human activities. One of the main reason is global warming. Now, how global warming is increasing? As we cut trees, what happens is the carbon dioxide gas is not absorbed and it remains in the atmosphere, and because of it, it leads to high temperatures. Increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere is leading to global warming. So all the greenhouse gases, they are trying to absorb heat and they are not throwing the entire heat in the universe, so it remains in the atmosphere, which is leading to high temperatures. Global warming is actually leading to various effects. Now in biosphere we are just looking into living creatures, the effect on life, and global warming is doing widespread and consequential harm to all living creatures which are struggling to adapt to new conditions. So all the kind of living creatures are very badly affected by global warming. So we need to make sure that we protect our environment, we reduce on our desires so that we can put less pressure on the environment and we can save the environment to all extent. I think by this we can take a small initiative to do as much as possible for the planet. Now coming towards the end of the session, I'm sure you enjoyed it, you learned a lot many things in this session.